everyone, XylaTakura here. Hope you're all okay and well, and we are back again after some tasty lunch for the trial of Nekomaru. So if people were around this morning, I completed the life-threatening game, and we are now a little bit closer to figuring out who the murderer might be. I mean, I might need to double check over some of the information that we got from last time to see if there's anything that I've missed, because I did have the investigation split up a little bit from last time. And obviously we're going to have to contend with Nagito now, because he's just proven my point and become a big ass. Anyhow, let's go. So let's have a quick... Oh no, this is the handbook. Truth bullets. Do we want to have a quick look at the truth bullets? So we had the wires. Someone must have knocked him out, or like, because that looks like it's been smashed in to knock him out. Oil on the floor. The pillow was definitely dropped on his head, but I have no idea why. Possibly with the hammer. They set the alarm off. Yeah, but who could have done it though? And I heard a rumbling sound at 5 AM. We've got the debris. Hihiko saw Nekomaru leaving Strawberry House early. 5 AM. Alarm clock went off in the Strawberry House on the second floor. The elevator and the door were both disabled. Obviously, Nagito went through the life-threatening game, so that's why he could move freely between everywhere, so that makes sense. 180 degrees, so the room actually turned at the end of the stream we did earlier this morning. The alarm clock isn't working correctly. Receives radio waves at fixed intervals, so I don't think that that maybe the magnetizing of the rooms have something to do with that. And I'm not quite sure about why what's wrong with the doorknob, but that's refreshed myself a little bit. So let's go back and think. We'll check on the pet. The pet is fine. I don't know why it's a gorilla, but the pet is fine. We will give the pet something to make it happy. Have some potato chips. Excuse me. Right, let's get back into this. Trial time. Let's go.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. I'm sure you guys are starving by now, but let's get revved up and raring to go! Whoever survives will be treated to a fancy lunch. Guess what? Rabbit curry is on the menu!
Huh? I'm not the main ingredient, right?
I'm here today because Coach Nekomaru risked his life to protect me. I'm gonna be the one who avenges him. I'll definitely find out who the killer is. I'm definitely not tempted by curry. Got it?
Akane, you seem to have an impressive amount of drool flowing from your mouth.
Hey, why don't we try going over the incident?
Sounds good. Good place to
We
start.
weren't able to leave Strawberry House, so I want to make sure we get a detailed understanding.
I discovered Nekomaru's body a little before 7 AM. I headed over to Grape Tower for Monokuma Archive and found the body there. Hajime and Chiaki were also with me.
Hajime was with Miss Sonia and Chiaki that early in the morning? Don't tell me you three were together since last night!
Imbecile! I am not some woman with flexible legs.
Of course you're not. You're much classier than that.
With legs like those, I could probably do the splits real easy.
We just happened to run into each other on the first floor of Grape House and went to the tower together.
And then, the three of us discovered Nekomaru's body.
The body discovery announcement was made soon after. Akane heard that and rushed over.
We heard the body discovery announcement too, from Strawberry House, obviously. As I recall, we found out the elevator was out of order, which left us stuck.
When you finished starting to put capital letters into my stream, Edible, greatly appreciated.
So we decided to go to the tower for the time being and headed for Strawberry Hall.
Oh, you're taking a lunch break. Nice.
But someone even broke Strawberry Hall's door button. We couldn't go anywhere because of that.
Thinking we should at least find some method to communicate, we set our sights on the lounge telephone.
Forget these boring intros. Let's talk about the killer. Anyway, it's definitely someone from Strawberry House.
What do you mean, definitely?
There's no way a chick would kill someone so cruelly. So it must be one of you Strawberry House dudes. One of you better hurry up and confess, or I'll break all of you in half!
You're the cruelest one here!
Now, enough with the lovers' quarrel. We need to think about this seriously. We don't have the luxury of discussing irrelevant things. The incident this time has many questions.
The incident notwithstanding, I also have many questions.
Then let's start with something even Miss Sonia can understand. The weapon. Well, the weapon is obvious, right?
No.
What the heck, you guys? The weapon! You could totally tell just by looking.
You can tell what the weapon is just by looking. It wouldn't be much of a mystery if that were true. I mean, it's kind of obvious what finished him off, but the only thing at the crime scene that looked like a weapon was probably... I mean, I know it was the pillar, because the pillar has blood on it, oil, but tipped over pillar is what I want.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime!
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him!
Oh, okay, apparently that's not the one.
Damn it!
No, it's right, we just have to put it in the right place.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime!
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him!
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right! It was a surprise beating! The weapon is decided!
Okay, there's only two. The hammer in the tower was the weapon, like he said. It looks like that's the case, but...
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime!
New looking
That
hammer.
pillar,
Maybe
huh?
that's what we need to...
No, the hammer!
Because it looks new. I'm
The
guessing.
killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him!
No, that's wrong!
There we go.
No, I can't accept that that hammer was the murder weapon.
Talk to
Why
me, Johnny.
not? Why can't you accept it?
A lot of oil was flowing from Nekomaru's body, just like human blood, right? If the hammer was used to beat Nekomaru, you'd expect some oil to be on it at least.
But that hammer was clean. So that's why you can't accept that it's the murder weapon.
Well, yeah, but the killer might have wiped off the oil later.
Why?
Well, obviously, to make the hammer look like it's not the murder weapon.
Then why bother cleaning the oil? If they didn't want it to look suspicious, they would have discarded the hammer.
You're pretty insightful, baby gangsta.
Baby gangster? Me?
Just so you all know, I was trying to test you guys. I thought, maybe you guys mistook the hammer for the weapon or something.
It seems that was a waste of time.
Then what was the real weapon used to murder Nekomaru?
That's the problem. There wasn't anything else at the crime scene that looked like a potential weapon.
Then, how about we look at it from a different angle? If it doesn't have oil on it, it's not the weapon. So whatever has oil on it must be the weapon, right?
The actual weapon has oil on it. It's the broken pillar.
I see!
Heal me up. That's right.
The only thing with oil on it is that broken pillar.
Then that pillar is the weapon! Coach Nekomaru got clobbered with that pillar!
Nobody could withstand a blow from that pillar. Even if you used 100% of your muscle strength, it would be impossible to wield it as a weapon.
Why?
We tried to move it, right?
Yeah, they couldn't pick it up. The two of them couldn't do it together. I mean, it doesn't look like he's actually trying to pick it up in the picture, but...
Yeah, that pillar was pretty frickin' heavy. But there's one dude who could have lifted that pillar.
Huh? Who are you talking about?
Coach Nekomaru's robot body! With that dude's super strength, lifting a pillar would be real easy.
So, he lifted the pillar, and then what? Did he use it to beat himself?
You mean Nekomaru killed himself?
Don't be stupid! He ain't the type to commit suicide!
Then even if Nekomaru could have lifted that pillar, it has nothing to do with the case at all.
Please don't be Gundam who did it. I'll cry if it's him. What an odd thing to... Also, my name is Celestia Ludenberg. Great name. Great name. Welcome to the stream.
Well, I guess you're right.
What the heck?
But it does bother me a little. That word, suicide. By the way, the fourth murder of the killing school life was apparently ruled as suicide. Yep, I remember that. Huh? No, that shouldn't matter. There's no way Nekomaru would commit suicide.
But that's a problem. If it's not the pillar, then there's no other weapon we can think of.
Unless it is?
There may be a way to use the pillar as a weapon without lifting it.
Huh? For reals?
Yes, for reals.
I see. So my gut was right after all. Alright, it's up to you, Sonia. Prove that pillar was the murder weapon.
Understood. Then I shall give it my all. Sonia, here I go!
It's either going to be the broken doorknob or the wire, I imagine. Let's see. What's she say?
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over.
Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
the killer murdered Nekomaru by tipping over that pillar. Is that really it? Because Gundam, Chiaki, and Fuyuhiko are all I have left. Peko killed Mahu, and I liked both Mahu and Peko. Miken killed my wife Ibuki, and someone killed Nekomaru. Oh dear. That is true. That is literally the story in one sentence. So they didn't tip it over. I think the wire had something to do with it, but we'll have to see.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
Try the wire.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over?
Nope. Okay, it's not that one. Jeez, cease your questioning.
Damn it!
Is Akane part werewolf because her claws and fangs? Well, to be fair, she does have like demonic nails when she's
There's
in
no
like
need to
full
lift that
demon
pillar.
mode.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
Okay, let's try the other option.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over. Considering the pillar's weight.
No, it's not that either. It's got to be to do with tipping it over. It's got to be to do with that. Okay, shut up, Fuyuhiko.
There's no need to lift that
Better
pillar.
keep away from her on a full moon. True.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over. Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
No, they didn't tip the pillar over, but what did they do? Might turn into a werewolf. She can't turn into a silent. I think it would be weirder if she turned into a monkey, to be honest. Maybe it's got something to do with the fragments.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over?
No,
that's wrong!
That makes sense now. I thought about that. Because you wouldn't have the fragments
If
underneath
Nekomaru
his
was
body.
crushed by the pillar, then there should have been fragments on top of his body.
Huh? Fragments?
The pillar fragments were scattered beneath Nekomaru's body, but there weren't any on top of his body. If the pillar had been tipped over and crushed him, the fragments should have been on top of his body instead.
I briefly considered that too, but it's probably not what happened.
I see. That was entirely my bad.
If they didn't tip it over, then how did the killer murder Nekomaru with that pillar?
How much longer are you gonna focus on the pillar? Just let it go already!
There's no way I can let it go. I'm positive that Nekomaru was killed by that pillar.
Just like the glass fragments in the Sakura case. Exactly.
Why are you so certain about that?
I just have a feeling.
A feeling, huh? That's just your instincts.
But we can't say for sure that that instinct is wrong, can we?
Huh?
There's another way to use that pillar to kill. You guys just haven't noticed it.
Is that true?
Then I shall ask you, what way is that?
You guys... Same as usual. You're unable to clear a path to the future with your own powers, so you just stand there and falter.
Such an asshole.
What a waste of talent. And you all intend to fight the Future Foundation? You make me laugh. What did you say? Regardless, it's not like I want to die with the rest of you. So I guess I should lend a hand.
Hey, Nagito. What the hell happened to you? How come you're not talking like a lunatic anymore?
I've learned a valuable lesson. Ignorance is by far the greatest shame.
Huh? What do you mean?
Who cares? Just tell us how the pillar was used to kill!
Well, first of all, the pillar itself is not enough. But when combined with a specific item, there's a way it could be possible.
A specific item?
Of course, the ultimate weapon.
Ultimate weapon?
Isn't that the thing you get when you clear the final dead room?
So, Nagito knows what the ultimate weapon is?
Of course I know, but I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen it, you know?
We've seen it?
That's right. You've seen it clearly. Because I, the one who has claimed dominion over evil, am the ultimate weapon. I am he who cuts the insolent catalyst which flows out from the chaos with the sword of victory. It's only fitting that I deserve to be called the ultimate weapon.
No, you are far greater than the ultimate weapon, since you wield your 4 dark devas of destruction.
Wow, okay.
I see.
I don't know why.
But I'm not liking this. I wonder why.
Cut the bullshit and say it clearly. What is the ultimate weapon?
In order to clarify that, we first need to solve the secret of the Funhouse.
Huh? The secret of the Funhouse?
You still don't realize it? Jeez, get it together. You're supposed to be the symbols of hope, aren't you? Ah, I forgot. Except for Hajime, of course.
Except for Hajime?
Piece of shit.
If we make it out of this, I'll explain it to you guys.
Anyway, we must first clarify the secret of the Funhouse, right? Then I think it must have something to do with the structure of the Funhouse. Strawberry House leads to Strawberry Tower, and Grape House leads to Grape Tower. But in actuality, they are both the same building, and both houses are linked to the central tower. It is undeniable that such a sweet building structure is the secret of the Funhouse.
Man, not only does that make perfect sense, but Miss Sonia's beautiful voice is just so soothing.
Faux show! I shall leave this matter to your discretion.
Faux show. The 2 houses are connected to the tower in the middle. I thought that at first too, but I ended up finding proof that completely contradicts that. You did? You're gonna have to remind me. It's gotta be to do with the strange feeling in the tower, surely.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
So that's the secret of the Funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors.
And the designs on the floor are also different.
We've already settled this problem. Give it 10 years before you argue with Miss Sonia.
This whole time we've been thinking the 2 towers are the same building, but if that was the only mystery, there's no way Nagito would mention it here. It's gotta be to do
In
with...
truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same...
No, that's wrong!
Good
Both
job I
of those
didn't press it
towers,
the other place.
Are they really the same place?
Why are you asking that now? Do you harbor a grudge because my kingdom destroyed your homeland?
Hajime, I won't tolerate any sort of rebellion.
What the hell?
I mean, doesn't it seem strange? When we went to Grape Tower from Grape Hall, Nekomaru's body was in front of the door to Strawberry Hall. But when we went to Strawberry Tower from Strawberry Hall, his body was in front of the door to Grape Hall.
It's probably some kind of trick, like the floor rotating 180 degrees or something. If it is, then see? That means it could have passed as the exact same place, right?
If so, then what? Do you seriously think such a simple answer is the correct answer?
Does that mean he's wrong?
Oops, I guess I've said too much.
If the floor didn't rotate, then that means we need to think about the structure of the building again.
Bow down!
Here we go. She wants to argue with
Then
me.
how about this? Somebody moved Nekomaru's body.
Why the hell would they move it?
While we were moving from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower? But we should have all been together during that time. Even if they tried to move the body inside the tower.
Then Monokuma did it. While we were moving, Monokuma quickly moved things around.
But Nekomaru's body wasn't the only thing moved. Are you saying the broken pillar was moved too?
If it is too heavy to carry, let them roll it. Just like if there is no bread, let them eat cake.
That is not how that works. Gotta be the broken doorknob, I think.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Moving
That's
the body
cool.
and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear.
I have no idea why
Crap.
it came up.
It
Futuristic
seems you have
robot.
forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the pillar, the body, everything at the crime. He could have moved it all, easy as pie.
Ah. Yeah, no, I know what we've missed. I know what we've missed.
Damn it!
I know where to hit it now.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
I'm out? What? I don't understand what just happened there. As expected of a princess, she's overcoming my arguments with great confidence. I need to counter her remarks. Yeah, I was! And then the button wouldn't work anymore!
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Why am I out? I don't understand why I go out of cuts.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Brain explosion. I don't understand why cutting it the right way is the wrong way.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
my brain just I don't understand how you have to do it in a limited amount of bloody cuts. This is stupid.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
There we go. Finally, Jesus.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong. Wielding the power of the pillar, he could have moved it all
Damn
easy
it.
as pie.
Damn it.
Damn
I
it.
missed it again.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong. Wielding the power of the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
Maybe this is to do with the chain around the door instead?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong. Wielding the power of the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
What?
Crap.
Oh, wire, not chain. For God's sake.
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong. Wielding the power of the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
What? He didn't move the chain, he didn't move the doorknob. I don't understand.
Crap!
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong. Wielding the power of the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, and it's frustrating me now because he didn't move the broken doorknob because obviously when you go to the other side, it's not there because we picked it up. The chain wasn't there because that was on the other door because when we opened it. What am I missing here? Why can I not look through the frigging things again?
Crap!
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong. Wielding the power of the futuristic the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene. He could have moved it all easy as pie.
Damn it!
I haven't
There are
got
many
time
different
to
ways.
practice which one
The
is
body
moving.
and the pillar could have been moved. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time.
It's
That
gotta
might be
the
hard
oil.
even for Monokuma, don't you think?
Of course, it's gotta be the oil, you dipshit.
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong. Wielding the power of the pillar, the body, everything at the
Allow me to cut through those words!
Why did I not think about that? I was too busy seeing what was
Moving
in
the
front
body
of me.
and pillar is possible, but it would have been impossible to move the oil on the floor.
Let's carry on like nothing happened.
When the position of Nekomaru's body and the pillar changed, the oil surrounding his body moved too. Physically moving all of the oil like that is simply not possible, no matter how you look at it.
I need to not be so quick. I need to read
Then
my
it's
answers.
impossible to think it was moved.
I am terribly sorry. I cannot believe I got so fired up.
Shut up, Sonia. You nearly
It's
cost me
all
the
right.
whole game.
A fired up
The
Miss
whole
Sonia is
trial.
awesome to watch.
So what really happened? Does that mean the two towers aren't the same building?
We can't be certain of that either. Not when the experiment involving the handbook I left on the tower floor was a complete success.
That's true.
Yeah, the E-handbook was still there. That's why we thought the two towers were the same building.
If they're not the same building or two different buildings, then what are they?
No idea, huh?
The mystery ties into the secret of the Funhouse. But we don't have enough clues to solve that mystery. Then the only thing we can do is rely on the one person who has those clues.
Hey, Nagito.
This is
I
awkward.
thought it would come to this. I knew my turn was coming up. Fine. I'll tell you guys a big hint that can help you solve the secret of the Funhouse.
Give us the answer, not a friggin' hint!
But then it wouldn't mean anything. I need you guys to do this class trial properly. It's also important for me because it will help me determine something.
Determine? Is he talking about the trader? If so, why did Nagito say that all of a sudden? Did something happen to him? Or he's just mental?
But how do we know your hint is any good? It's suspicious that you're the only one who knows it.
I have a good reason for that. The reason I'm the only one who knows it is because I was the only one who performed the appropriate action.
He performed the appropriate action in order to learn the secret. What could he be talking about? The life-threatening game.
I see!
Give me some health back, please.
You're talking about the final dead room, right? You cleared the life-threatening game there and found something, didn't you?
That's right. The hint is what I saw after I cleared it. In the depths of the final dead room, there was a hidden room surrounded by concrete. And there, a small conspicuous window waited, all by itself. From that window, I saw some very strange scenery.
Strange scenery?
Instead of explaining it, it might be faster just to show you.
Show
At
us.
an opportune time, I found a perfect camera in the final dead room.
Oh yeah, shit.
You took a picture?
Yep.
Nagito grinned creepily as he retrieved a small digital camera from his inner pocket.
See? This is it.
Hey, I want to see. I want to see. As he said that, he showed us a peculiar picture. Oh shit!
Let me explain it to you again. I took this picture on the first floor of Strawberry House, from the secret room within the final dead room. But don't you think it's weird? If the Funhouse's structure is what you guys have been thinking, then there's lots of things that don't make sense in this picture, right?
Lots of things that shouldn't make sense in this picture. Well,
Then let's begin. Shall I call it thinking time?
What doesn't make sense in this picture? The fact there's no fucking theme park?
Here!
You said this photo was taken from the hidden room inside the final dead room, right? If that's the case, then that means it should have been taken from the first floor of Strawberry House.
Yeah, it should have been.
Then, this is definitely strange. This photo doesn't look like it was taken from the first floor. The angles suggest it was taken from higher up.
I mean, I was thinking of something else, but apparently these guys are on a different wavelength from me.
I see. And is that it?
Nagito says there's lots of things that don't make sense in this photo. Which means there are other contradictions contained in it. What doesn't make sense in this picture? the sky then.
Crap!
Oh no, I'm out. Whoops. I didn't realize I was out of life. Blah 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 blah. I knew I was gonna fail on this trial anyway, so. Of course, it's always me, even though there's no way it could be me.
This is our end?
Yes, I want to retry, please.
We will never give up!
That's my boy. What else doesn't make sense in this picture? Well, I mean, it's not been drawn very well.
Here! You said this photo was taken from the hidden room inside the final dead room, right?
This is, I'm just going to be repeating myself, aren't I?
If that's the case, then that means it should have been taken from the first floor of Strawberry House.
Yeah, it should have been.
Then, this is definitely strange. This photo doesn't look like it was taken from the first floor. The angles suggest it was taken from higher up.
I see. And is that it?
What about the sky? I don't know, I'm running out of ideas here.
Here!
The sky!
If the structure of the funhouse is what we thought it was, Grape House and Strawberry House should link to the tower in the middle. Which means, if you're viewing the tower from Strawberry House, you should see Grape House behind it.
Oh. See, I wasn't thinking of that.
But in this photo, I don't see anything behind the tower. No shadow, no shape, no Grape House at all.
That's right. Good call. In summary, this is the truth contained in this photo. The first floor of Strawberry House is located in a high area, and Grape House is not behind the tower.
It's not? Are you saying that Grape House is merely an illusion spell cast by Monokuma's cursed eye?
From this point on, do your own thinking. Now that you've finally met the same requirements as me. If you guys are truly symbols of hope, you can easily solve a simple mystery like this. It might be possible for Hajime to solve it too, even though he's just a normal high school student. Despite the fact that you don't have a real talent, you already know about the other clue.
The other clue? Is he talking about that one time? Oh yeah, where he just appeared out of nowhere. You showed up? How did you even come here? Maybe I teleported. Yeah.
You're referring to when you suddenly appeared on the second floor of Grape House, right?
Maybe Grape
I'm asking you
House
just
is
to be safe.
underneath
At
Strawberry
the time,
House.
where do you think I came from?
The top floor, right?
Such sharp eyes. So you realized it already.
Top floor. So the third floor?
But the Monokuma Archive should be the only room on the third floor of Grape House.
What does it mean?
What was that thing just now? Another hint figuring out figuring out the mystery behind the Funhouse's structure? The reason Nagito appeared from the third floor. Using the photo he took, I might be able to find the answer if I just think about it. Alright, let's do this. Time to go on that hoverboard. Logic dive. Whee! Whee! Ugh. Ow. That was cheeky. Question 1. Does Strawberry House and Grape House both exist? Yeah, they both exist. I think they both exist. Yeah, they both exist. Okay, cool. Hey, that's cheeky. I don't like you doing that. Stop. Ugh! I'll tell you what. Ah. Right, question 2. Are Strawberry House and Grape House the same building or two different buildings? They're the same building. They're the same building. Ah, no. This can be a bit like trippy. Okay, question 3. Are Strawberry House positioned with each other horizontally? Horizontally. One's above the other. Oh, vertically. Okay. Okay, vertically then. I thought it would have been horizontally, like on top of each other. But what do I know? So they both exist. They're the same building and they're vertically. Oh no, vertically. That's what I was. Why did I put horizontally? Oh my god. Oh, there goes my glasses. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, vertically. Like on top of each other. Why did I put horizontally? Horizontally is that way. Oh my god.
It's all coming together.
I'm glad it's all coming together for you, because I am just blown.
Got it. I know the secret of the Funhouse.
Then let me hear it. What kind of answer will you give, I wonder?
In the picture Nagito took from Strawberry House, I didn't see Grape House at all. So where did Grape House go? There is only one possibility. It was in a position where it couldn't be seen from Strawberry House. Which means Strawberry House and Grape House are in the same building, but on different floors.
Same building, different floors?
Then the two houses aren't two different 3-story buildings. They're actually one 6-story building?
If you think about it like that, based on Nagito's picture, it's clear where Strawberry House is located.
Higher up. It's located the floors above Grape.
I see!
Let's get some of that health back.
On top of Grape House. That's where Strawberry House is located. Because of that, the photo taken from the first floor of Strawberry House was at a high angle. Altogether, this means the first floor of Strawberry House is also the 4th floor above Grape House.
Oh, snap! I never expected that the two houses were connected vertically.
But what about the shape of the building? The two houses were completely different shapes.
Strawberry House is 4-sided, and Grape House is 6-sided, right?
It never occurred to us that they were the same building because it was structured with two different shapes. A quadrilateral and a hexagon, overlaid atop each other to misdirect how we would perceive them. And it worked, didn't it?
Yep.
Disregarding the tower, We fully believe the two houses were two separate, distinct buildings.
A lot of planning went into this, you know.
In order to conceal the unique design of the Funhouse, Monokuma put us to sleep so we couldn't look at the outside of the building when he brought us to it.
You've just been Kuma'd! Don't you think a building full of so many surprises totally deserves to be called a fun house?
Then it's true? The building was really like that?
That's right! Those two houses exist on different floors in the same building!
Constructing a building like that on your own without my knowledge? How horrible!
Then what about the towers? Are they arranged vertically just like the houses?
Yeah, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower should have also been different floors inside the same building. Just like Strawberry House was on top of Grape House. Strawberry Tower was also on top of Grape Tower.
However, if they're different floors within the same building, why was Nekomaru's body in both places?
Aw, your precious hammies don't know? But it's so simple. Alrighty then. I'll be the one who solves this mystery in a flash. Please watch me, Miss Sonia.
Oh, I see. Do whatever you like.
She does not like him at
Definitely
all.
make her watch me. I'm gonna stand out till she notices me.
If she doesn't like you, dude, just give up, man. Now this has got to be to do with the broken doorknob. Let's just watch it.
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
You've got to be kidding me, right?
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You're magnificent, Gundam!
No fair! You totally stole my spotlight!
So which one was the fake body?
Shut up! Just pick one of them!
A dummy of Nekomaru's body exists. Does that mean the killer prepared it in advance? No. But is something like that even possible? No! Right,
I'm
what
gonna
else have we
solve this
got?
mystery in a flash!
Then hurry up, dumbass!
Maybe it's got something to do with the Monokuma file?
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
No. Okay. I've got the health to try.
Damn it!
So don't worry about it, Johnny. We got this.
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash!
Then hurry up, dumbass!
Tiptoe over
One of the
pillar,
bodies in one of the
chain,
towers
Strange feeling.
was actually a dummy!
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You're magnificent, Gundam!
No fair! You totally stole my spotlight!
Mechanical body.
So which one was the fake body?
Shut up! Just pick one of them!
Is something like that even possible?
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash!
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
No, that's wrong!
Okay.
Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy. That can be proven by Kazuichi's account.
Your own account against you.
Me?
Remember? When we moved from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, we thought the body had moved. And that's when you said,
No, not just that. The parts that I carefully arranged when I disassembled the body all moved too.
right up until that moment, you were disassembling Nekomaru's body at Grape Tower, right? The killer couldn't have known how you'd take apart his body, so they couldn't have built a dummy.
Unless Kazuichi was the one who built the dummy, then it would be a different story.
Miss Sonia, that's a pretty harsh joke. You are joking, right?
It's alright. Kazuichi is not the killer. If he was, he wouldn't have fixed the elevator or the button in Strawberry Hall. It'd be much more convenient for the killer if it stayed broken.
I see. That is disappointing.
I'm even more disappointed.
However, even if Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy, it's meaningless if we don't have the important answer.
The reason Nekomaru's body was in both towers, even though it was supposed to be on different floors.
The tower's just
Maybe
one
it was
big
simply
tower.
moved?
The body moved to a different floor?
I mean, yeah, that's another thing, I suppose.
You can't think of a device like that? A device that moves things to different floors in the same building?
Elevator. A device like that? The elevator. A device that transports things to different floors in the same building. I wonder what it is. I feel like I've seen that before. Alright, let's do this. If it's not elevator, I'm gonna be extremely upset. Elevator. Yeah, it's elevator. Whoops. That's what I'm gonna do. Right, I need an E, please. Can I have an E? Give me an E! Give me an L! I don't want another L. Give me another E. Give me a V. Give me an A. Oops. I need an O. An R. Boom.
I got it!
Elevator. Yeah.
You must be talking about an elevator.
What? Are you saying Nekomaru's body was transported using an elevator?
Where the hell is this elevator anyway?
It's the tower itself. The inside of the tower is one big elevator. Which means the tower was designed so that the whole room goes up and down like an elevator. So whether you enter from Strawberry Hall or Grape Hall,
It's the
it
same
all leads
tower.
to the same room, right?
It's the same tower.
So that's why we could only enter it from one side or the other.
Now that you mention it, sometimes when I pressed the door button, it took a while for it to open.
I see. We were basically waiting for the room to arrive, just like an elevator.
Please hold on. If the inside of the whole tower ascends and descends like an elevator, then why is there a picture of a strawberry on the far back door when you enter from Grape Tower?
That is true.
And a picture of a grape on the far back door when you enter from Strawberry Tower?
If the room just moves up and down like an elevator, there's no reason for the doors to change.
Plus, after the incident, the far back door in Grape Tower had chains wrapped around it, right? But when we entered Strawberry Tower, those chains were gone.
Not just that, but if I remember correctly, Even the doorknob was broken off.
There are too many strange things. Was that tower really an elevator?
When you see people and things, make sure you focus on the good parts instead of the bad.
What did you say?
So, let's put aside what's changed and focus our attention on what hasn't.
Why do we have to do that?
It's fine. Come on. What does everything that hasn't changed have in common?
The things that didn't change when we moved between the two towers. That includes the body, the pillar, and the oil. We've been talking about that stuff for a while now. There shouldn't be anything strange about them. Not even the fact that they all moved with the elevator. The one thing they all have in common, they were all on the floor.
I see! Is it safe to say that all the items on the floor didn't change?
And? Why did the picture on the far back door change? If you can figure that out, you'll have the answer. The reason is because that elevator has something unique about it.
There's something unique about that elevator. There's no ceiling. It's an enormous circle. You can only enter one side at a time. No? Okay. I mean, you can only enter one side at a time, but... There's something that doesn't relate to anything. Let's try again. There's no ceiling. It's an enormous circle. There's no ceiling. There's no ceiling. Okay, it's not no ceiling.
Damn it!
You get a lot of health taken from you. It's an enormous circle. Only the floor moves.
I see!
Okay.
So that's it. The elevator was designed so only the floor moved.
Only the floor moved?
Which means the whole room wasn't an elevator, only the floor was. That's why we saw different doors in each tower. Which means on the first floor of Grape Tower, the door on the far back wall had a strawberry design. And on the fourth floor, which was Strawberry Tower, a different door on the far back wall had a grape design.
Then, where do the different floors lead?
I want to say they lead outside, but they're probably just for show.
Just for show? Why was something like that necessary?
So we'd falsely believe that the doors were connected to where their picture signified. It was actually very effective. Because of that, we totally misunderstood the building's structure.
I don't get it. But I guess it means whoever designed this building had a totally twisted personality.
Did you hear that, Monami?
Don't blame this on me. Take responsibility for yourself.
Then I'll take responsibility and gently caress you.
Like, there's no way that's gonna happen. Stop with the tasteless jokes.
By the way, what does the chain on the far back door in Grape Tower mean?
It was probably wrapped there by the killer to keep us as far from Strawberry Tower as possible.
Why?
Because of that chain. You guys thought you couldn't enter there, right?
Like you said, I could probably use these parts to repair that button, but yeah, the chain, yeah. Even if you do repair the button, what's going to happen to the chain on the other side of the door? door that leads to Strawberry Hall has a chain wrapped around the doorknob. Even if you fix the button on the Strawberry Hall side, the door won't open as long as that chain is there. You don't need to worry about that at all. Huh?
The killer destroyed the Strawberry Hall button, so we'd stay away from Strawberry Tower. Everything was done to tamper with the evidence, so we wouldn't find out about the secret of the Funhouse. The appearance of a body in the tower would contradict what we thought we knew about the building. In that situation, if we'd gone to Strawberry Tower, we'd have seen that contradiction firsthand. And using that as a clue, we might have discovered the truth. The truth that the two houses and the two towers are actually one complete vertical building. The killer wanted to keep us from learning that. That's why they made us stay away from Strawberry Tower.
They destroyed the button and wrapped a chain around the door just for that?
Seems like it.
Would it really have inconvenienced the killer if we learned the true structure of the building?
It would have been a major inconvenience. After all, this funhouse is strongly connected to the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru.
Hold on. You're progressing much too quickly. There's still a contradiction concerning the building structure.
What a pain. It's fine already.
Gundam, please proceed.
You said earlier that Strawberry House and Grape House are connected vertically, right? If so, how does the contact elevator supposedly transport us from one house to the other?
I see. Now that you mention it, I completely forgot about that matter.
If that elevator moves vertically, then when your back is facing the elevator, both towers should be on the same side. But does this reflect reality? Inside Grape House, Grape Hall is on your right when your back is to the elevator. And inside Strawberry House, Strawberry Hall is on your left when your back is to the elevator.
This is to do with the 180-degree thing, isn't it?
Which means the houses are on exact opposite sides of the tower. Answer me, fiend! What does this mean?
What does it mean?
What does this mean?
Tell me. I agree. What does this mean? If the two houses are connected vertically, the position of the tower should be the same in both houses. But in fact, when my back was facing the elevator in Grape House, the tower was on my right. And when my back was facing the elevator in Strawberry House, the tower was on my left. How can I break through this contradiction? It's to do with the 180-degree spin thing, isn't it? Doesn't Kazuichi have something for this? Kazuichi's account, right? That's right, isn't
The
it?
two houses are connected vertically.
The elevator should move.
Vertically, not horizontally.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevator is behind you, the towers are in opposite directions.
Whoops.
Which means your reasoning...
It's clearly contradictory.
What's with this iron curtain of teamwork?
So Gundam and Sonia have matching arguments. It sounds like it makes sense, but... is that really correct? So I need to find out which one is the right
If the two houses are connected vertically...
The elevator should move.
Vertically, not horizontally.
No, that's wrong.
Oh, I didn't get the sound effect. I didn't get the sound effect there for a second. Maybe it broke a bit.
The elevator wasn't just moving vertically. Isn't that right, Kazuichi?
Huh? Me?
Come on. You used the elevator while you were holding that compass Nagito gave you, right?
Ah, that. Yeah, it was pretty strange. From start to finish, somehow the compass needle rotated 180 degrees.
Rotated 180 degrees?
Meaning, as the elevator moved between the two houses,
It spun around.
it also rotated 180 degrees. It was probably following the building's perimeter as it rotated to the other side. Which means the exit would be on the opposite side once you arrived at the other house, right?
And thanks to that, the tower we saw on our right side when we arrived at Grape House
Ended up on the left side.
appeared on our left side when we were at Strawberry House.
Beautiful.
An elevator that rotates while it moves. Is that even possible? It's like something from an amusement park.
I mean, we were in an amusement park.
Well, a funhouse is an amusement park attraction, you know. And since the building doesn't really need to be structurally practical, it makes for some splendid fun.
That's not splendid at all. You're inhuman.
You say I'm inhuman, but I'm just a bear. So I was never human to begin with. I'm different from these lowly humans.
So we're done with the secret of the funhouse, right? Then let's start talking about the important stuff. What's the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru? And how'd they combine it with the pillar?
Huh? You still don't know what the ultimate weapon is yet? It's what I found at the Octagon, you know.
What is the Octagon? I haven't heard about that yet.
Oh my... I can't believe I have to explain that now.
Oh dear.
As long as you know what an octagon means, you can solve this simple mystery easily.
What an octagon means. 8-sided shape.
I see!
Give me that sweet, sweet health.
If I recall, an octagon is a shape with 8 sides, right?
I didn't expect you to know that. For a substitute reserve course student, you're quite knowledgeable.
Dude, that's something you learn in primary school.
I guess I should continue listening. Where is the place befitting of the name Octagon?
What? Octagon? It's gotta be on top, right?
Crap! Crap!
So it's gotta be Grape House, right? Well, I don't know then.
Crap!
The only other thing we've got left is the here and here. I don't know. Oh, whoops.
Crap!
Pop-up came on my computer. 1 second. No. Thank you.
Here!
I did it. Oh, how I did it, I don't know, but I did it.
Talking about the secret room surrounded by concrete in the depths of the final dead room.
Why
was
is
a
that
guess.
place the Octagon?
You know how the 4-sided strawberry house is on top of the 6-sided grape house?
That wouldn't make it 8, but okay.
If you cut a 4-sided shape out of a 6-sided one, you get 8 edges. It becomes an 8-sided shape.
That's basically the gist of it. The true identity of the octagon is that secret room in the depths of the final dead room. In actuality, that place contained various weapons.
Then the ultimate weapon was there too?
That's a little different. I learned the true identity of the ultimate weapon at the octagon.
Learned?
The true identity of the ultimate weapon is the Funhouse. Which means the killer used the building structure as their weapon and killed Nekomaru. Like me, the killer probably realized the secret of the Funhouse from the scenery. And then thought of a way to kill making use of the building structure.
The funhouse itself is the weapon, so they killed using the building structure?
That's why the killer tried to keep us from learning the mystery of the building. But more importantly, using the building itself as a weapon? Such a spectacular crime. It truly deserves to be called the ultimate weapon.
The Funhouse is the true identity of the ultimate weapon. What does this mean? How did the killer use that to murder Nekomaru? And who is the killer? Who did that? Ah, break time.
Hiya!
Why, hello there! I thought of a new bad word to call Monami. I can already tell I won't be pleased by this. Then let me say it right away. I'm already used to insults and slander. There's no way I'll get hurt. Oh no, this is Monami. Whoops. I'm already used to insults and slander. There's no way I'll get hurt by a mere word. Monami is a serious Stoofatly? That's much more straightforward than I expected. Stoofatly. Huh. Tisk tisk. That's not it. That's not it at all. Stupid, fat, and ugly. The perfect jet stream attack incorporating all 3 of these words would be... ta-da! Stoofatly. Huh? What? There's a fat hidden in there?
Okay, everyone, all together now!
Monami is a serious Stoofatly. I would like to save my progress, and I would like to take a quick break before we jump back in. Resume.
Hello. I hope your day is well.
It is. I'm going to disappear for a second for my suspended trial break. I'll be back. Hello, I'm back. My day is well, thank you very much, Monami.
I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up.
Okay.
My heart's thumping like crazy. I might as well have a laid-back, so what attitude and go ahead with high energy. Yeehaw! But be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons. And just like I say each time, don't forget to save frequently.
I never expected the Funhouse itself to be the ultimate weapon. Oh well, let's just press on ahead.
Is it really alright to accept a situation so easily?
I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Nekomaru's murderer?
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but I will sincerely retract that remark.
Retract?
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder. Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
I see.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know.
Akane! You were drooling waterfalls?
Nagito, as usual, I can't tell what he's thinking. I have no idea if he's serious or not.
Anyway, if the killer used the building structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
How they killed Nekomaru.
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
Nekomaru's cause of death. Huh. He was horribly damaged as if he was beaten senseless with a blunt object. But if he was beaten with a blunt object, it wouldn't be a kill that utilized the building structure. So, what was the cause of Nekomaru's death? Falling? Dead battery? Crushed by the elevator? Dead battery? Falling? It can't be falling because he was... Oh no, he was in Strawberry Tower, but... Falling? Really? I mean, I've only probably got one chance. Falling? Falling.
I see!
Falling? Really?
That's it? I think he might have died from falling.
What?
Died from falling?
If the Funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected, then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
That, I don't know yet.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method. Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
It might be possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Did you forget how the elevator functions? When it's on the first floor, the door on the fourth floor won't open.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
But my gut is going crazy right now.
Nekomaru died from falling. Where did the killer... excuse me, shove Nekomaru from? If I'm going to reach the truth behind this incident, I need to solve that mystery next. Which he knows. I mean, he does have a good night button, so you could essentially shut him off.
When the elevator is on the first floor, you can't go through the door on the fourth floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Nekomaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the fourth floor to the first floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on! Did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside.
No, that's wrong!
Wasn't moving. Good night button. Oh, thank you, Joe, for Gesundheit. Hello, how are you
That sensor
today,
should
sweetie?
only work if something is moving. If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
I see. So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it. There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from, yes?
That's what I was about to explain, before Kazuichi interrupted me.
Silence, pest!
Now you're calling me a pest?
A way to create the drop inside the elevator while Nekomaru's still in it. Chiaki seems to have an idea, but what? Ah! What way could that be? The wire and the doorknob! Okay, wire or broken? I think it's got to be the wire first.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
I agree with that.
I agree with you, Fuyuhiko. Let's be partners. High five.
Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on it? That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
Yeah.
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob...
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair!
That's right. He was suspended in midair.
Huh?
The killer tied up Nekomaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot and hung it on the doorknob to the fourth floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the fourth floor to the first floor of Grape Tower. And suspended Nekomaru in midair.
He's asleep.
That's right! He was so well hung! Kinda like...
You better not finish
That sentence.
The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
Too easy.
What's your
So what
problem?
if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that.
Why?
If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall? Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
This has got to be something to do with the alarm clock. Radio clock. Clock's alarm timer. It's got to be that. I think it's got to be this one. Let's go for it.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a wire, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off.
Oh.
There's no way they could do that.
Come on. Why am I out already? I agree with what Kazuichi is wondering. It seems certain that a difference in elevation inside the tower was used to kill Nekomaru. I need to find the answer and counter Kazuichi's remarks. Let's go.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Crap!
Maybe I've got to use radio.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
Okay, maybe it's that one then.
Crap! What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
Allow me to cut through those words. What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
What the fuck is
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode. Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why, if something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right?
How did that doorknob
Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that.
Poor guy.
And then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off. In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
The killer didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that even happened was because... In that case, I shall use my full power. Yeah. With a fierce roar, Nekomaru put all his power into grabbing the doorknob with both hands. But... Wait, isn't it creaking? If you break off the doorknob, we'll be stuck in here. If that's really what it was, then what's the clue Nekomaru left for us to find?
I see. So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
Do you finally understand now?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig. Isn't that right, Miss Sonia? If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so!
No, I believe you gave your all.
Hey! Why aren't you teasing me anymore?
This guy. He gets off on this!
So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
Yeah. It doesn't mean Nekomaru crashed straight into the floor. No, he hit the pillar before he fell. The moment Nekomaru fell to the floor, the only thing I can think of what happened to him was he collided with the pillar. Cola came out of his eyes!
I see!
Collided with the pillar first.
When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Finally, the pillar!
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m., and if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nah, that's impossible. 'Cause even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
That's true.
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know!
Another mystery I don't understand. Seriously, it's just one after another. But I can't choke up at a time like this. Just a little more and I'll be able to reach the truth. There should definitely be a clue to breaking through this contradiction. Fuyuhiko's account. Maybe that has something to do with this.
We headed for Grape Tower before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
No? Okay. Oh no, messed around with it, radio clock.
Damn it!
That's what I need to do. Messed around with it, radio clock. Is radio
We
clock
headed
on
for
here?
Grape Tower
Radio clock.
before
yeah,
7
here we go.
a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside was set for 7...
Nekomaru died.
His time of death and one of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru.
No, that's wrong!
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the Funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
He's so funny when he's embarrassed. The time-related contradiction. I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. Doubt thou clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but what was it? Perhaps we've overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. Think. If I focus and think, I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. Here we go. Logic dive number 2. Question 1. What did Hajime and the others misunderstand? Who the killer is, where the murder happened, the time in the building. Oh, that's, oh my god, that's mean. Don't do that again. You're gonna do it again, aren't you? Son of a bitch. Ugh. I don't like that. Please don't do that anymore. Okay, question 2. Which clock was tampered with? The building's clocks, Nekomaru's, the building's clocks. Okay, question 3. Which house had the wrong time? Both houses. Both houses? Both houses. Yeah! Hey, DPG in the house! How are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. So they tampered with all of the clocks.
It's all coming together.
Every single one. Okay.
You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off?
That's true. She's right. That's the main problem. I need to clarify by how much the time was off after the killer messed with the clocks. That's definitely the next mystery. I'm going to reach the truth in one go. It's got to be to do with the fact that they all woke up. Why is Gundam still... Fuyuhiko's account. Here we go, yeah.
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
No, oh no, okay, no. I need to use his account, but not right now.
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely...
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be in our time?
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down?
If only I heard the sound when he fell.
No? Okay. Heard the sound when he fell. Maybe that's what we've got to do. I don't know whether...
Damn it! If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
Maybe it's Akane's
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be in our time?
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down?
If only I heard the sound when he fell.
I agree with that.
We did. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling?
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane!
If that rumbling sound we heard was at 5:30 a.m., it's like the end. So it was 2 hours. 2 hours off.
I see!
Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the Funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is obvious. So they can lure out just Nekomaru.
Lure out only Nekomaru?
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Besides messing with the time, the killer also used a specific thing. They were trying to lure out only Nekomaru, then the specific thing is... Monokuma's Taiji?
I see!
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Grape Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
I think it was too early.
we wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning...
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m.
That was 7.
And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early! He didn't even ask you yet!
Yep. How outrageous, yeah. I honestly didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi. But it turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped. Yeah, so he knew we were all late.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez! That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot, or something like that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad!
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it! It's incorrect!
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Huh?
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
Huh?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Who isn't? Who's the bastard?
It's whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time, right? The only person who didn't come out of their room at all was Nagito, right?
You're the only one! The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
He was the only one that didn't turn up.
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Where were you?
Please, say something!
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
He couldn't?
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
They were in the posh rooms with the sound.
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
Oh. Huh?
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it, but...
You were in the soundproof rooms.
It wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
I'm with you now.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
The only people who didn't hear the rumbling noise were Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The secret is what these three have in common. Could this also be the secret that points to the killer? I've got to go through a Hangman's Gambit? Oh. S-O-U-N-D. I don't know what it's going to be then. U. L. U. Luxury rooms. No? Well, what is it then? Well, it's not soundproof. Hang on a minute. Let's actually think about this. So it's 6 words. R-O-O-M-S. L. It's not luxury rooms. What is it then? It's not sound, because that would have been soundproof. But it can't be... D-E-L-U-X-E. Deluxe room. Deluxe room! Damn it. I need an L, please. Ouch. No! Need an E, please. Damn it. There we go.
Whew, I got it!
How stressful is this game? It can be quite stressful, Martin. Welcome to
Nagito,
the
Sonia, and
stream.
Chiaki, the three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe
Life is,
rooms
in
are...
general, is stressful enough. Yeah, it is. The guest rooms are divided up by quality grade. The deluxe room is soundproof and has an excellent air insulation. The standard room may have so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent. And the crummy room has severe airflow and draft problems.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise.
It's because you were in a deluxe room.
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent? Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Somehow I feel like I understand what Nagito means. The killer among us. The killer who murdered Nekomaru. I'm gonna have to choose somebody now. Wait, is it actually It can't be It can't be Nekomaru. I don't know. It can't be. She's just like looking at him like, it's him! It's him! Soundproof room. You were out. Where were you? Wait, you... You have an alibi with Fuyuhiko. I woke up to it. You have an alibi. Soundproof room. Soundproof room.
Crap!
Of course not. Of course not. I was just clicking it for... I should think it over one more time. Akane? No.
Crap!
The deluxe room should be the clue. Sonia?
Crap!
No. Is this person really the right one? I should think over it one more time. Well, if it's not going to be Nagito, then the only other person who had it was you. And it's not you either.
Crap!
Oh, what? I don't know! I generally don't know! This is the last person I can... Well, the last person I can choose, then I have to go through this bit again.
You're the only one!
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you. When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that?
Honestly, I have been quite suspicious about him since the start of this trial. Honestly. He's just said some things that are a bit strange.
If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right?
Oh.
Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Shit!
Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There is only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko. Me? After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right?
Ah.
If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Nekomaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
Ah.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room.
Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
Shit.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
Yeah. I totally forgot he was in a deluxe room, man. I totally forgot. Jesus. It makes sense now.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but... How ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
I only see 3, but I'm confused.
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That
no, that's the other
means
one.
I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
Is that your argument?
You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence.
You're
At
panicking.
the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime,
Oh, here we go.
this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean a class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Why don't you just go and die then, Nagito? Because honestly, right now, with all the insults you're giving me, I could not care less about you. So you go and sit in the corner and rock back and forth slowly, laughing to yourself with your weird swirly eyeballs. And when you cark it, we might have a better chance of getting out of this with our senses and sanity intact, okay? Bye-bye, sweetie.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it? At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
You said opening act again!
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
Sweetie, it's adorable.
But he's
that you-
completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off.
How did I make it all the way there? You played the
Although going
life-threatening
to and
game.
fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing. Which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
That's wrong. When something is obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. Right, where's... Oh. Oh, okay. I do not have...
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, There's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
Contradiction is when something is obviously wrong. There's no contradiction. I can't shoot through. That's a bit of a confident mind you have there, honey. I'm going to find out what it is for the sake of everyone's hope. I'll shoot through the contradiction.
That elevator was
Wall clock.
the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was...
Oh, how do I... Hang on a minute. How do I... pick up a... Select truth bullet. No, concentrate. How do I... Do I have to hold right mouse button?
broken at Grape House.
Oh, no, I didn't want to press that.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
Okay, so you can't do those bullets, but you can do the other ones. So what I need to do is I need to get the one where he's just like, I couldn't go between floors, and then probably hit the accomplice
That
one.
elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was... broken at Grape House.
if the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
No. Which one do I have to hover over? Which one do I have?
it!
I'm gonna have to, yeah, I've got to restart it. You failed! Blah, blah, blah. It's obvious that I'm gonna fail a couple of times. I had too much of a gap in between the investigation.
This is our end? We will never give up!
That's my boy. Let's go back in and figure out what was going on there. We have to gather one. None of these work with what we want right now. We have to gather a truth bullet.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was... broken at Grape House.
if the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
That's the one I want.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me?
That's the one I wanted.
Why don't we stop
Thank
this
you,
already?
Akane. Thank you, my girl. Now we can do this. I can shoot through it now.
That elevator was the only means of travel between...
No, that's wrong!
Bye-bye, dear. Bye-bye-bye.
No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist!
Yes, it does.
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Nagito!
You're the only one! Nagito, you should know.
What are you talking about?
Don't be an
Don't
asshole.
play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
Yeah, why are you here? You could say I teleported.
There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show off. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down... Surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Meaning the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
Okay.
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
Everybody fucking knows where that is, you dipshit.
There's no way they didn't know.
Yes, thank you.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion.
You're an idiot.
If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
Did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Sorry, Hulk. Can I even use... I can't even use any of these. Okay, I can't use any of these. Right, let's just leave it on one and just see what he says. Let's go.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
His argument is exhausting. Yeah, it's also going at fucking angles. Just listening to it makes me tired. We need to skillfully cut back against his words so he doesn't outpace me.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
God, this is hard.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
God, it's so hard. Jeez.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I can't back down!
Uh-oh. I can get out of here.
I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drop, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
He means try providing evidence that the killer went to the Octagon, right? How the hell am I supposed to provide that with the shit it's giving me? If that's the case, I should have it too. Well, I'm glad you're so confident about this, Hajime. The key which dwells in the light that will break through the darkness.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
I don't understand what he wants from me! Try providing evidence that the killer went to the octagon. Is that got to do with the alarm clock, Fandango?
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
Right, okay. They had to have... We can try it. We can try it.
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
Nope.
Crap!
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
God, I have no idea what I'm supposed to put here. I'm trying to read through them, and obviously he's just having a fit in the background, and he's distracting me.
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
Crap!
I'm gonna, the only way I'm going to do it is to go through them all.
You say the killer went to the octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
I'm just going to have to hit them all. It's not I just can't function at the speed it wants me to. So I'm just going to have to make mistakes. And the game's just going to have to
know
do
the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
Damn it!
Damn it!
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail, I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blood.
Allow me to cut through those words!
There we go. I was about to say, Jesus. It's now
the
like...
wire used to string up Nekomaru's body.
Now that I think about it, the wire was the most obvious point, because there's no way you could have got wire from anywhere else. So, I'm just being a dumb blonde, but... And the fact that this game does generally stress me out when it's like, and I'm like, whoa, okay, just time out. Let me read things and figure out what's going on, and I'll get back to you, okay? But this game doesn't let me do that.
The hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the octagon.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
It seems this is the end. Normally, we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case. But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act, so I'm going to end this right now.
Hey, what are you...
First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties. But even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And, without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay?
Nice.
Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Hold on! What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Excuse me, what?
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought, truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument, it was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
I guess you really don't want to admit it. Then, just as you requested, I will provide an argument that'll leave you no choice but to be persuaded. I'm glad you're so confident about this. Oh god. Hang on a minute, before we start, what's the thingy-mabob fever time of space key? Got it.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Crushed as David.
Hang on a minute. How do I reload? Tab key.
Show me the cadaver. I won't let you. For the Tanaka Empire. Wither. Crushed as David prophesized. I won't let you. For the Tanaka Empire. Wither. Crushed as David prophesized. For the Tanaka Empire. I won't let you. For the Tanaka Empire. Wither. Crushed as David prophesized. I won't let you. For the Tanaka Empire. Wither. Crushed as David prophesized. Show me the cadaver. I won't let you. It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him so easily?
This is the end!
His hamsters. His hamsters.
Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck.
He used the hamsters to do it. Oh my god. What a
As long as you
taskmaster.
have the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
That's the... Also, that is the first time I've actually got the final thing in the right order. So I'm extremely proud of myself for that.
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Lol.
Of course that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Yeah, didn't he train them to press buttons? Yeah, it pressed the button.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right?
Oh yeah.
Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Nekomaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
He used hamsters.
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell.
Wow.
Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own two hands.
Okay, so I actually do have to do this then. Okay.
here's everything that happened in this case.
Let's go.
Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the Funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the killer discovered the secret of the Funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Taichi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there. With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck. This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending. And Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful. And placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob. But because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
I thank you.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that.
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
Wow. I did terribly. Look how bad I did. Like 29 in one place. I keep getting B. I suppose B is better than nothing. 98 coins. Whoa!
This result isn't all that exciting. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Please pull the lever! Crap! I bit my tongue at the most important part!
Oh, that's not. That was fun. That was fun. Gotta try and get back to the voices now after all that. Ugh. It'd be bad if I bit my tongue again, so I'll speak slowly. Judging from the results, you guys were correct once again. Getting 4 in a row without any mistakes is a splendid achievement. That's right. The one who killed the robotic Nekomaru in the amazing Funhouse was Gundam Tanaka.
Nice!
Yay! I said all that without biting my tongue.
Now then.
Now we've decided who the killer is. Let's do the execution already and get this over with. Hold on. It's true the class trial is finished, but that doesn't mean the incident's over. We can't finish yet until we hear it from Gundam.
Jeez.
No matter what he says, it won't change a thing. Well, I have no right to stop you either, so do whatever you like.
Fall, my tears.
Why do you want to talk to one who has lost? The loser merely leaves. It would just be unnecessary for me to say something.
Listen well!
Is what I would like to say, but for honor's sake, I shall correct one thing. Correct?
How pitiful.
You guys said I made Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. That, however, is a great mistake. Huh?
Fine.
Nekomaru did fight. That is no mistake. And because he fought, he lost and died.
Damn it!
Lost and died?
This, too, must be the will of causality.
He was just trying to cling to life. There are many ways he could have done so. However, he did not allow that.
You.
What do you mean? Explain. Fine then. I shall reveal it all.
Let's make history.
Within the final dead room, I discovered the secret of the Funhouse, and I devised a killing plan utilizing that secret. By tampering with all of the clocks in the building, I succeeded in luring Nekomaru to the tower, and this is what happened. Nekomaru and I were alone in the tower, standing face to face with one another. I should say I expected as much from Nekomaru. He sensed my subtle killing intent and instantly understood the situation. And we had ourselves a stare down. In that situation, if he wanted to run away, it would have been easy for him to do so. He could have run away, or even called for help. But he did not turn his back to me. Instead, he chose a fight that risked life and death.
That is...
A fight that risked life and death?
Let me tell you this.
He was serious, too. He gave it his all to try to kill me.
Huh?
If I had died instead, the mystery surrounding the case would have been even more complicated. You would never know why I, the victim, went to the tower by myself.
I can see it!
Nobody would know that the victim, me, was actually the one who planned the whole thing.
Could it be?
Nekomaru really did that?
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
This scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this. This is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
That's a great line.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I am the Warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, Lords of Darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me. I need not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might. I won't go easy on you. Don't even think about holding back. Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics. Give me everything you got.
Nekomaru Nidai, your blood will drench the foundation of my empire!
That is...
Why? Why did you fight? We're all friends. Why couldn't you stop this? Even if both sides agreed, it was still wrong. I will not argue. I have no intention of forcing my values upon you.
Let me tell you this.
However, I must say this. What's the point of living if you're just waiting until you finally die?
You weakling!
There's nothing courageous about that. That is abandonment, a mere feeling of resignation. Wait, are you telling us to just wait until we starve to death? I'd rather have that happen to us than have our friends kill each other. Huh? Do you really mean that you'd rather die?
Fall, my tears.
Ever since we were locked inside that building, everyone had been dominated by that feeling of abandonment. However, nothing is born from resignation. That is simply a reason to give up.
If you flinch, you will die!
Giving up on life, that's just an insult to life itself.
Let me ask.
Have you fools heard of the term dog eat dog?
Cannibalism?
Fine.
In zoology, cannibalism is a commonly observed phenomenon. Many creatures at some point in their lifespan engage in cannibalism.
Listen well!
That is what it means to live. If you say killing for the sake of living is evil, then what would you call giving up on life in itself?
I shall engulf this world.
If a world would consider that justice, then I will fight that world with every last fiber of my being. Giving up on life and choosing death is nothing but a blasphemy towards life.
I renounce you!
It is a violation of the natural order. It is the arrogance of humanity.
You.
Are you saying all that to try to justify what you did? But it sounds like Nekomaru felt the same too. That's why they fought, right?
Damn it.
Fine.
That man had the courage to die when he needed to die. That is why he challenged me to our battle. Regardless, as I've already said, I do not intend to force my values upon you. I have betrayed you all. That is the absolute truth.
Fall, my tears.
But even so, don't you think it's a better alternative to slowly starving to death here?
Oh.
That belief is why you committed your crime.
You...
Hey, what about the final dead room? Did you do the Russian roulette too?
Let's make history.
Unlike Nagito, I only did it once, but... compared to my battle with Nekomaru, that was mere child's play.
Well?
You know, after listening to you talk for a while, I'm starting to think that, well, it's also because you unexpectedly admitted your crime without much resistance.
Gundam, don't tell me you didn't sacrifice yourself for our sake, did you? I can't believe you would ask such a foolish question.
My name is Gundam Tanaka!
My cursed existence is feared by all mankind. There's no way I'd sacrifice myself for the sake of you fools.
Fade like dust in the wind.
Not in a million, not in a billion, not in a 10,000,000,000. Yes. In the name of pandemonium, it is impossible. Is that it? Then I'll just leave it at that. Now then, let us be rid of this foolish talk. It's about time the fun started. Monokuma, let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Yay! Got it. I have prepared a special punishment for the ultimate breeder, Gundam Tanaka.
Please wait!
This is just too
I
much.
beg of you!
Please help Gundam.
Huh?
Miss Sonia?
I beg of you!
How pitiful.
Sonia. An act as unrefined as stopping a man from going to his death does not befit a noble such as yourself.
Gundam. It's fine to start for reals, right?
Fine.
Yes, I do not mind, however.
What is it, my 4 dark devas of destruction? Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared 4 dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end, pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously! That is Gundam Tanaka! I shall stick with my evil until the very end! Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell!
You've got to applaud the voice actor here. They literally did a fantastic job of making Gundam this fucking crazy character. But he's really good. I'm gonna miss him.
Let's give it everything we've got!
It's punishment time! That was good fun. That was good fun. Rest in peace, Gundam. We'll miss you, my bud. We'll miss you. I'll miss the hamsters too. I'm sorry, what? Ultimate breeder execution. Is he gonna be trampled to death? Oh, the poor hamsters! Oh, he left the hamsters behind. Oh, he's doing like a ritual circle. Oh, what a horrible way to die. Oh, the poor hamsters. The animal angels descend from heaven to take him away. That was very somber. That was very bizarre. Gundam! No! No! Even after Gundam is gone, the spirit of his parting words still linger deep in our chests. Don't give up on life. Did I misunderstand what he meant? Then what's the right thing to do? I don't know. No matter how much I think about it, I don't know if I'll ever be able to answer that.
Damn it.
Damn it! I'm so pissed off. I need to throw something.
Damn it!
You all spend so much time worrying about each other, and thanks to that, things ended up like this. You're all full of shit, every last one of you. But the biggest piece of shit is me.
The worst.
Damn it, why am I so weak?
Oh.
It's such a downer, clearly. But still, even though we feel this way, we still gotta do our very best.
You are right.
This time around, we must move forward. We must continue to live and believe in our friends. If not,
You are right.
Gundam will most likely crawl his way out of hell, and I presume he will be very cross with us. You're right. You're right. We shouldn't just stand here. I mean, it's not like this is over. We still have to do it. We still have to finish this. For the sake of our friends who have died, we need to finish this once and for all. So, don't just stand there. Stand up and walk. Move forward. Live. If you don't, everyone who fought and died will have died in vain. We can't allow that.
Hey!
So, how long are you guys gonna stand around chattering? The class trial is over, so it's okay for you to hurry back over to Jabberwock Island. However, the killing school trip will proceed as usual, so make sure you know that.
Wait!
Hold on! How much longer are you going to keep doing this? Seriously, how long is he going to keep doing this? How long is this going to continue?
Now then.
Alright, I'm feeling down after feeling down for so long, I'm finally feeling refreshed. Let's hurry back and eat some food.
Hey!
Hold on a sec. That mood shift is too damn fast.
Not like that.
Well, you know, it's like Gundam and Nekomaru said. That's what it means to live, right? She's certainly something else. But seriously, I'm starving.
Hey.
Then, let's go back for now and eat. And then, after we're all full, let's sleep as much as we want.
Right?
And then, let's do our best again. Yeah, you're right. Renewed hope. With this, the class trial has come to an end, and once again we return to Jabberwock Island. The size of our group has definitely diminished, but despite that, even if it was just the rest of us, we did our very best to stay upbeat and have fun together. Of course, our optimism was only superficial, but at that moment we were all able to forget about the dark despair looming before us. However, the only thing I was worried about was him. He wasn't there. He suddenly disappeared from our sight. Where the fuck are you going, Nagito? Yep, I'm definitely lucky. I never expected to obtain so many valuable things from a simple game of Russian roulette. Fucking psycho. Thanks to that, I was able to learn the identity of our true enemy. And before everyone else, too. But it's just too funny. I mean, no one could tell that I was lying. There's no way the file had just Hajime's information.
Well,
I guess they were too busy with other matters, or maybe they've reached their limit. Regardless, I was saved. Why do I have the feelings there's some shit that's gonna go down very soon? Things would get complicated if they found out. Anyway, I can't forgive this.
Damn it.
This should never be forgiven. There's no way I can let this run loose. I'll be the one who stops this once and for all, even if it costs me my life.
It's obvious.
For the sake of hope, I cannot ignore this. Please tell me you're gonna die next, yeah?
Monokuma appears!
Who summoned me?
Now then.
Thanks for coming.
What's this?
Why, it's the lonely little Nagito. Are you all alone tonight, too?
What's the matter?
So, what's up? Your face looks scary. I see. So you can tell. Ah, perhaps you found out who the traitor is? You know me well.
Well.
Is what I'd like to say, but unfortunately I haven't learned that yet. I see. So even though you don't know, looks like the final showdown is gonna take a little more time.
Hello.
So, why did you summon me? Were you finally going to confess your love?
Hey.
I summoned you because there's something I really need to ask you. It's about the special prize from the final dead room. Oh yeah? What about it? There was information about 16 people in the file I received. But isn't that weird?
Say what?
What's weird?
You don't even know?
Well, there's a traitor from the Future Foundation hiding amongst us, right? Including that person, the total number of students would be 16, right?
Isn't that right?
But this file contains documents that were created at Hope's Peak Academy, right?
Of course!
That's right. I just reused the stuff that the former headmaster spent a lot of time making.
But
if this file even contains information about the traitor, was that person also a former student of Hope's Peak Academy?
Who knows?
I wonder.
hey.
Could it be? Is this your doing? Did you slip false information into the file? Were you trying to keep us from learning the traitor's identity by obtaining this information? What's wrong with that? If it's my job to heat things up, it's okay if I do something small like that, right?
Well,
That's not my point.
right?
My point is, you already know who the traitor is. What's wrong with that?
You're getting all riled up!
Well, you're splendidly correct when you say I knew who the traitor was all along. But even though I know who it is, why do you think I'd ignore it on purpose? It's just like Monami after losing her magic stick. The traitor's existence means absolutely nothing to me. Their existence means nothing, huh?
No!
Well, that's just how I feel. I'm sure you guys feel somewhat different.
Shing!
After all, that person is the evil Future Foundation lackey who's putting you guys through all this awful stuff. That's not entirely true. I didn't really come here to fight or anything like that. Instead, I came here to offer my cooperation, you know?
Huh?
Cooperation?
Hey.
Your purpose is to fill everyone on this island with despair, right? That's why you're intentionally letting the traitor do as they please, right?
Yep.
If that's the case, I might be able to cooperate somewhat too.
Right?
However, in exchange, I want to know who the traitor is. I see. Interesting. Very interesting.
No.
Obviously, that's a big no-no.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I want to make everyone in your group feel despair. That includes you, too.
Well,
I knew you would say that.
Besides, I just wouldn't be able to handle the sadness when you inevitably betray me later on.
Just as I thought, you saw right through me.
you're right.
No matter what situation I find myself in, my core way of thinking will never change. In order to create absolute hope that shines brightly, stepladders such as myself in despair exist.
You're right. You're a true believer of hope after all. I must say, that belief reminds me of that person for some reason.
Huh?
Reminds you of... I don't know what you're talking about, but if someone as worthless as me reminds you of some other person, they must be extremely unlucky.
Like...
But you're just as unlucky, right? I mean, the fact that you're even involved in something like this.
Well,
Am I? I actually think I'm very lucky.
Say what?
Huh?
you don't know?
When you say that coming across this much despair is a rather rare opportunity, I can't rely on anyone on this island. That's why I have to be the one who does it. If I can't eliminate despair from this island, I won't be a stepladder anymore. I'll become true hope. I'll become an existence that could even be called ultimate hope.
The two of you are alike. You definitely remind me of him.
Hey,
There's one more thing I want to ask you.
see?
Who are you waiting for on this island?
Huh?
Looks like I'm right again. You're definitely waiting for someone on this island. Is that person you're waiting for already on this island?
Hey,
Well, answer my question.
That's...
If that's the case, if that person is already on this island,
Wouldn't that be exciting? What an odd conversation. We are running out of time. Chapter 4. End. Complete. There's only 7 of us left. Jesus. Crazy. Crazy. I got his earring back. Nice. I would like to save my progress, and I'm going to end here. Woo! That was a trial and a half.
stretch, stretch. Ooh.
Oh, my shoulder really hurts. Right, we need to head back to the main menu. Saving is for wusses. I mean, that's... okay, I guess I'm a wuss then. Thanks for that, Joe. I thought you were my friend, man. Yeah, I've had fun. Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. That is me today, though. I hope everyone enjoyed Dangan Day. Finally finished chapter 4 and we're on our way to chapter 5. I don't think there's much left now. Maybe 2 chapters, I'd guess. Because I think the first game ended at like chapter 5 or chapter 6. So I don't think we have much left, which is always it's always nice to know the pacing. Most of the time games like this tend to have a similar pacing, so we should be finished in the next couple of streams. So yeah, you enjoy the rest of your Sunday too, Joe. Thanks for sticking around. Thank you to everybody that did pop by and say hello. I appreciate it as always, and I will see you guys tomorrow Not quite sure when I'm streaming just yet, but I will be online tomorrow at my normal time, 8 p.m. GMT time. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks, and I will see you then. Bye, everybody. Bye.